Several years later, Mma and Chigozie were now grown-ups. You would think that Mma has stopped blaming her brother for the death of her mother, but no, she still had the same hatred for Chigozie and even more. Time didn't heal her or change her thinking. All these years, Mma had been pretending to be in good terms with her brother, but deep down in her heart, she despised him. After secondary education, Mma got admitted into a university in a different state from where her parents lived. She was happy to finally stay away from Chigozie, not seeing his face and not having to pretend anymore. Chigozie soon graduated from secondary school. He sat for JAMB exams and got admission the same year. Mma was in her third year in the university when Chigozie got admitted into the same school. When Mma heard that her brother would be attending her school, she became even more angry. She had thought that she was finally free from pretending to like him. Chigozie started school and soon settled in. He stayed in the school hostel as it was policy for the new students. At first, Mma continued acting like she cared, helping him around and did little favor here and there. It didn't take long before she got tired of acting and went back to the sister that didn't care. She stopped Chigozie from coming to her lodge and refused to help him with anything. Chigozie kept trying every possible means to make things right with his sister, but all his efforts failed. Whenever their parents called and asked about the other person, they would respond like they were very cool with each other. This enmity between them started affecting Chigozie negatively. He wasn't really concentrating on his studies, and this was affecting his grades. He couldn't fathom the reason why his sister, who he thought had changed, suddenly went back to hating him and even hated him more now. One day, Chigozie was cooking in his hostel room when his mind drifted away. He started thinking about everything in the past. He remembered how he grew up thinking his sister hated him, how his mother and father would always try to talk her out of quietness. He remembered how she changed and they became best of friends, how they became so close and they even had a happy family. Then he wondered what had gone wrong now that they were in university. While he was cooking, his food was burning, but he was deep in thoughts that he didn't realize until fire erupted. Before anyone knew what was going on or where the fire came from, the whole hostel was already burnt. By the time Chigozie came back to his senses, the fire had already burnt his belongings terribly that he couldn't save anything. He grabbed a blanket and luckily he made his way out of the burning building. Some other students called the fire service and after some time they arrived and stopped the fire. Chigozie, feeling devastated, went to his sister's lodge to stay with her and at least use her phone to inform their parents about what happened. Mma was already having a bad day because she misplaced one of her textbooks. When she saw Chigozie looking like someone who just narrowly escaped death, she smiled in her heart because all she wished him was anything bad. After he told her what had happened, she looked him from head to toe and said, "Get out." Chigozie looked at her confused about what he just heard. She understood the look on his face and repeated saying, "Yes, I said get out of my room. You want to bring your evil to my doorstep, abi? You evil child, murderer. You want to come and kill me like you killed my mother. It will never happen. Don't even show your face anywhere near my lodge. Else, I will do something that will stay with you forever." She hissed. Chigozie started crying and begging his sister like he was begging for a last chance in life, but all his pleas fell on deaf ears. Mma chased him away with a broomstick, raining insults on him and warning him sternly never to come to her for anything again. Chigozie left there shamefully and in tears he went to spend the night in one of the lecture halls in the school. That night, Chigozie couldn't sleep. Mma's voice kept playing in his head, calling him a murderer. He wondered why his own blood sister would ever call him a murderer, when he knew for sure that he had never thought of killing nor found himself in a situation that would lead to him killing someone, talk more of actually killing someone. The school reached out to the parents of the students affected by the fire, and when Mr. Nnamdi heard the news, he rushed down to the school to get his son. He was very disappointed with how Uma rejected her brother, and this made him transfer Chigozie to another school entirely. Years later, both Uma and Chigozie had graduated from the university. Uma graduated before Chigozie. She started looking for a job immediately after her graduation. After one whole year of searching for jobs based on her qualifications, she decided to settle for the position of a cashier in a big supermarket in Abuja. She worked there for 1 year and 6 months, and she could describe this 1 year and 6 months the worst year of her life. She would wake up early, prepare for work, and arrive at the supermarket early, but her boss would still look for something to scold her for. If it was not because she didn't smile at a customer who just insulted her, it would be for not greeting a customer while attending to the other one, or for leaving her duty post to go use the restroom. There was always something to scold her for. At some point, he started deducting money from her salary for any of her silly mistakes, as he called it. Mma bared all the shouts and insults. She told herself that it was worth it as long as she wasn't seeing Chigozie's face. But when he started deducting her money, she decided to quit. She started sending out applications and going from place to place looking for a new job. Soon enough, she got a job in a bank. The place was a bit far from where she lived and the salary was not so much, but it was better than receiving insults every day and not going home with her complete salary at the end of the month. Mma started working as a bank teller. She had her break time and her colleagues were making work easier for her. They helped put her through in areas she didn't understand. Things started going well little by little for Mma. She was now able to get an apartment closer to her place of work and sort her bills. Despite the new improvements, Mma felt incomplete. She couldn't explain why, but there was this empty feeling she gets whenever she was alone. She has worked in Abuja for 2 years, but had nothing to show for it. One fateful day, she sat outside her apartment scrolling through her phone when she came across a post. It was her brother, Chigozie, announcing the launching of the latest furniture from Nnamdi's opponent furniture. She opened the picture of her brother and there he was, all grown up, handling his father's business well. A tear rolled down her eyes. She had a rethink of her life. She thought about how bad she treated Chigozie and how she hates him for no reason. She had come to the realization that Chigozie, her brother, did nothing wrong to her. Rather, she had been the one holding on to a grudge she developed as a child and even letting what was nothing come between herself and her brother. That evening, she decided that she would return to her family and beg for forgiveness. The next day, she resigned from her place of work. She packed up some of her belongings and put up other ones she couldn't travel with for sale. It didn't take long before she was able to sell them since they were just as good as new. In a few days, she was set and ready to go back home. When she was on the plane, she prayed that her family would accept her, especially her brother Chigozie. After many hours on the road, she finally arrived in Lagos. Meanwhile, after graduation, Chigozie ventured into his father's business and was doing very well. He now managed most of his father's shops, while Nnamdi, who was now getting old, stayed at home most of the time. Nnamdi begged his daughter on many occasions to come back to Lagos and join Chigozie in the business, but Mma refused, saying she wouldn't live in the same city or even work with Chigozie. Chigozie himself tried to convince her, but she warned him sternly never to call her again and blocked his number. Their mother, Mrs. Misoma, kept begging and praying that God would one day bring her daughter back. One evening, Chigozie came home from work, went to his room to freshen up, and came downstairs for dinner. Mr. Nnamdi was in the living room watching a show on the TV, while his wife, Mrs. Misoma, was setting the table for dinner. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Mr. Nnamdi looked up at Chigozie and asked, "Are you expecting a visitor?" "Not at all," Chigozie answered and went to get the door. As he opened the door, he saw someone he least expected to show up at the doorstep, his sister, Mma. As soon as he opened the door, Mma went on her knees before her brother and started crying and begging. "Chigozie, my brother, I am sorry for everything I have done, for every bad treatment, every bad word I have said. I'm sorry, my brother. Please forgive me. I allowed the wrong thoughts cloud my mind. I blamed you every day for our mother's death. I'm so sorry. Please, Chigozie, forgive me." Chigozie knelt beside her with tears rolling down his eyes. He held her hands and said, "Thank you for coming home. Thank you for recognizing your faults and coming back to your family. I am happy to see you, and I have never had anything in mind against you. I knew that one day you will come back home and love me as much as I love you." They both cried in each other's arms. At this point, Nnamdi, who was watching from the corner, came and hugged his children and was raining blessings on them. "It is well with you, my children. Thank God for keeping me alive to witness this day, the day my Mma finally embraced her family. My child, for this step you have taken, I bless you. Everything you do henceforth shall yield good fruits. This unity will last forever. God bless both of you, my children." Mrs. Mma left the table and started dancing and singing with joy. "God has done it, oh. God has answered my prayers, oh. He has brought my daughter home, oh. My daughter is back. God has done it, oh," she said while jumping about in joy. It was a wonderful family reunion. They all had dinner, after which they talked. Mr. Nnamdi asked Mma for every detail about how she was living in Abuja. Mma explained everything to her father while he listened. After her narration, Mr. Nnamdi announced that Mma would become the manager of the new branch. Mma was so happy and grateful. She thanked her father for giving her an opportunity and apologized again to everyone for all her bad behaviors. Nnamdi made Mma a manager in one of his branches. When she started working in her father's company, she gave all her efforts to improve the operations in the company. She now collaborated with her brother Chigozie, sharing ideas on how to grow the business. Together, they got lots and lots of national and international contracts. The bond between them grew stronger and stronger that they totally forgot how they grew up. Their parents were happy that they were finally lifting the business to the higher and highest level, and finally they were making the family proud together. Dear besties, there are lessons to be learned from this story. We shouldn't allow our thoughts determine our actions. Mma was wrong by thinking that her brother killed her mother, and the fact that she let herself grow up with that thought caused a lot of damages in the future for her. Sometimes, the things we do thinking we are right will end up bringing bad things for us in the future. Also, we should always learn to forgive. Chigozie forgave his sister and opened his arms to her when she finally came back. Two heads are better than one. When Mma joined Chigozie in running their father's business, they started getting contracts, both national and international contracts. So, it is better to do things together than doing them alone. Hi besties! Thank you for watching the story to the end. So, first of all, I would like to apologize for the long break. I know you all missed me, I missed you too. So, tell me, what do you think about this story? Kindly share your thoughts with me in the comment section and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Until I bring another interesting story your way, bye.